Hello everybody, today we're going to be doing, I don't know what yet, but I guess we'll see as the day unfolds and as the video continues. So let's go ahead and start. At my local hardware store, they have some bulbs on clearance, so I wanted to take a video of them. Now I went kind of fast because right behind me is where you check out, so the cashier's right there. But lots of interesting bulbs right here. Now the main bulb aisle is right here, and it's full of GE bulbs and some others as well. But a lot of standard things that you would normally find within a hardware store, nothing too unique. They used to have mercury vapor and high pressure sodium and bulbs like that at the end of the other side of the aisle, but they're all gone. I'm guessing they weren't popular items or something like that, so they decided to no longer have them in stock. In the electrical aisle, we can find some plugs and adapters. They have a couple aisles, but this one mostly has the adapters and starters and things like that. Now, back in the day when they had older stock, it was quite interesting to look through, but now it's a lot of modern stuff. So this is what I picked up at the hardware store, and I've been eyeing these older LED bulbs for quite a while, but they were on sale for I think like $5.99 or something. And once I saw them on clearance for really cheap, like $2 a piece, I knew I had to come back and get them. Now, as you saw, there were all kinds of different LED bulbs there of these older GE type, but I really like the R20 size, or they call these PAR 20. I always liked this size because it was kind of the first ones that GE made, these black ones. And I remember getting one of these when they first came out a long time ago. I think I have a video of one of them on my channel from a very long time ago. I don't even remember when. Maybe it was like 2010, maybe? 9, 10, I want to say. So these have been sitting around in store for quite a while. And you can see it's before they moved over to their Energy Smart labeling of things. So, very cool. Now here you can see the original price they had on it, $20.99, and it looks like they had other price stickers behind it as well. So I'm sure, obviously, when these first came out, they weren't cheap. They were actually quite expensive. I remember I got mine at, I think it was, Sam's Club. And it was obviously in their big packaging, because everything's in a big package. It only had one bulb in it, but that was $20 if I remember correctly. So yeah, these things were not cheap when they first came out, and I'm sure the price was much higher than $20 as well when it first came out. So very nice to have some more, because I do like the color temperature of these as well. They're like 3000K or something like that. These are 2700K. Does it say on here what the original ones were? I don't see anything about it. It just shows LED versus halogen, and you can see the LED is much more white instead of warm, like the halogen is. I don't see anything about a color temperature on here, unless I'm just not seeing it. But they have a very nice color temperature. This smaller one, which I wasn't going to get, but I decided to because I like these small ones as well, is 3000K. But I do think that these are a little bit warmer than these. I took this one out of the package because I noticed that the package was cracked and it must have dropped at some point in the store. But I tested it and it obviously works just fine. So I'm not worried about that at all for $2. Not bad. Now these say they're dimmable, but I don't see anything about that on the original ones. And you can see the design is ever so slightly different too. This is a little thicker than this. They're still very heavy, and you can see the lens there is different as well. So these were the first ones that came out. Now if you go to a Red Robin restaurant, you can sometimes still find these. I remember when these came out, a lot of those restaurants converted over to these GE LED floods. They're more like a spot, but I see they say narrow flood, but they're more like a spot. And you can still find them there working today. They last a very long time, but they do get dim over time. That's to be expected with these. This little one, you can see, is the same type of design as the bigger one, but here they used the same type of refractor material as the original one. So anyway, There are the LED flood bulbs that I picked up on clearance. I have ideas for uses for these, so they're definitely going to get used. Here's a little 2-foot rapid start wraparound inside of the changing room in a Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Now outside of the changing room we can see these 8-foot fluorescent fixtures which were adapted to use these 3-bulb staggered bulb looking fluorescent adapters, and then they put LED bulbs inside of those adapters. Now underneath those 3-bulb adapters you can still find the original sockets to the single pin 8-foot fluorescents. They're still underneath there. I have a picture somewhere but I can't find it. Usually these stores have Emerson heat fans, but this particular store has these Hunter ceiling fans, and they might be Hunter, I can't really read it, so I don't know. But they have these low bay fixtures, and I've seen these used once. I think they're high pressure sodium, and they're used in a power outage, because I remember being in one of these stores when the power went out, and those things turned on. Quite interesting. Now here are some metal halide shoe boxes that are being used as floodlights. And way up at the top are some more. Now they light up the front of this Shopco behind me. And way in the back are these lone 2 little fixtures, and I have a video of that here in a little bit. But that's the parking lot. You can see some more there. Next to it in their garden area we have these fixtures, and I've seen these before online, but I have no idea who makes them. They look like wall packs, and look here. There's a gap in between the 2 fixtures. So I don't know. I've seen them used like this before on the top of a pole, but you see there's some wall pack versions as well. I don't know. They're very interesting. It would be interesting to see what kind of reflector is inside of the fixture to see if it reflects it down or what the story is there. At this Goodwill in the parking lot, we can find these induction fixtures. Each fixture has 2 bulbs inside of it, and it's nice to see because you don't really see induction too often anymore with LED around now. Inside the Goodwill, there wasn't much for light bulbs and things like that. Lots of electronics, and again, I had to move the camera around quick and do a lot of cuts here because there was a lot of customers walking around, and I don't want to really get them on camera. So, well, I got what I could. Now, next to all of this stuff is where we can find some of the actual lighting items. Let's see, there we go. Look at the older GE CFL there. I don't know why I had to think about that, but I did. There's another one, and another one. And there's a Westinghouse one, there's a nightlight with a burnt out bulb, and yeah, interesting. So, lots of, interesting things to look at, but not interesting enough to actually get. Now this lamp in the corner here that I take a look at, I have one of those. It's slightly different, but the same design. I like those with the little bulbs inside. That's pretty cool. So these fixtures are quite unique. I remember seeing them a lot when I was a kid, and a lot of the stores in this city used these lights, but unfortunately a lot of them have been taken down and replaced with modern metal halide or LED fixtures for that matter. But these fixtures used to be a variety of different things. They could be mercury vapor, metal halide, or even high pressure sodium. I've seen them in all types. So either they were all mercury vapor to begin with and they eventually got converted, but they have the high up ones and then they have the lower ones, and I've seen all kinds. So they're really cool to get a picture of before they may be gone. Across the street we can find these GE fixtures, and the name of these things is escaping me right now, but they are mercury vapor and it's cool to still see them around. So this is one of my favorite stores to go to. I've found a lot of very cool things here over the years. Now this fixture right here is very cool, but I don't have a use for it. Now it originally was mercury vapor, believe it or not. Inside, if you see there's a ballast compartment, and the ballast is missing unfortunately, and somebody wired it up directly to 120 volt and put a CFL in it. Very heavy duty fixture, but I don't have a use for it, so I just left it there. So let's go around and take a look at the fixtures, and I'll just chime in whenever I guess I have something to say. So enjoy. So here we are inside of an antique store, and do you notice anything interesting about these fluorescents? They're high output. I could tell as soon as I walked in. I saw those big sockets and I was like, ooh yes. So it's very cool to see 4-foot versions, and so many of them. Usually they're 8-foot. So that was really cool, and it's a bunch of different color temperatures too. It was a mix of GE, Sylvania, and Philips bulbs, but neat. So I really hope you enjoyed the adventures today. We got to see a lot of different things, lighting in stores, parking lots, and even another, restore type of place. I frequent that place quite a bit when I'm in the area. So anyway, let's go ahead and show the one thing I did pick up there. It is this lampy fixture, which I did show in the video, and it's been there for a while actually. When I picked up the Emerson heat fan, it was there, and they wanted $5 for it. But it was a B tag sale day, and it was a B tag. They have A, B, and C tags, and they rotate the sales depending on whatever. So it was a B 50% off day, so I got it for $2.50. And it's a really nice fixture. It didn't have a cord, so I put a cord on it, and it works just fine. I'll have to put it in another video, because it deserves a video in and of itself. It's a very nice fixture. So, as I hold this thing back up with my other arm now, I really do hope you enjoyed today's vlog, and also please comment, rate, and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.